Coughing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Same issue.
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check.
Testing. Testing 1 2. Mic check. Testing. Testing.
Mic check, mic check.
Test. Mic check. Ready? Before we go, let's have someone bust a flow. I think she's ready to go. I guess not. Did you see that? Surprise! Break the ice. All right, listen here. All jokes aside, no. All right, listen. Thank y'all for tuning in once again to Street Therapy KC. Street Therapy KC. We try to merge the streets with the therapists and bring healing to our community, man. One person at a time, one conversation at a time, one podcast or show at a time. Today is no different. Today I have two special guests. Today is October the 18th. Tuesday, October the 18th. Today we got a show. Talking about loved ones, man, our loved ones that we loved and lost, and how we working through the situation, how we working through it, and how we're maintaining our mental focus and still still carrying their names, with us and their legacies. So without further ado, I'd like for my guests to introduce themselves. I want to go straight across from me to Lakeisha Holloway. Hello.
Hey, I picked the wrong seat. Want to switch?
No.
Well, listen, ladies first. You could have said over there. I still would have called you.
Touche. Thank you for having me on here.
My pleasure.
And my name is Lakeisha Holloway
I'm
from Kansas City, Missouri.
You're good.
I am currently participating in a competition fundraiser called Fab Over 40, and it's with beautiful women all around the world that are competing for this top spot, and at the same time there's a fundraising aspect of it that is contributing to breast cancer, the National Breast Cancer Foundation.
Yeah.
Since we are in October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so I guess I'm going to chat a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Thank you. And to my left here, Cordon.
Yes, my name is Cardon Bolin, from right here from Kansas City. Born and raised in Missouri, and then raised over in Kansas also. Went to high school in Kansas. Married over there and living over there in Kansas now.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so, Lakeisha, tell us a little bit about Fab Over 40. What exactly is that?
Fab Over 40, as I was stating, is a competition fundraiser. Yeah. And
how to get started?
Women get out of their 20s, start climbing into their 30s, and then you'll hear it's all downhill over 40. And so Fab Over 40 is getting women who are embracing their age. Yeah. They're embracing their new thoughts, their new bodies, the things that go with aging and the aging process. Instead of it being gloom, doom, and despair, they're now feeling fabulous about it.
Yeah.
Fabulous over 40. So, excuse me. It's just a way to encourage them and, as I stated, embrace
Yeah.
that new life.
Like a reignite.
Reignite, almost like Stella Got a Groove, but not so much.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Oftentimes, we hit those, I guess, those milestones or those benchmarks, and we think, man, I'm starting to fall apart. But it doesn't have to be that way. Oftentimes you hear that 50 is or was it 50 is a new 30, and 40 is a new 20, and things like that. People are embracing the fact that they're getting older, and they're actually they're coming into that as a new chapter, and it doesn't mean it's the final chapter. It just means it's a new chapter, and that's a good space to be in, because obviously it is about the mental, and things like that. So yeah. Brother,
Yes, sir.
what you got an interesting story, and your conversation is a little bit different, and the reason why we brought you in here because you have lost a loved one, and let's talk a little bit about that, since this is mental health and things like that, and we want to continue down the vein of being aware.
Yes, sir. My grandmother, she passed away from cancer a few years ago, and then also had an auntie who passed away of cancer, and an uncle who passed away. Cancer is pretty prevalent in our family. And this is on my mother's side of the family.
Right.
My grandmother. My grandfather also, he didn't pass away with cancer, but my grandfather and my grandmother were like the pillars of our family. We would always go over there at their house to eat Thanksgiving or celebrate Christmas or all kinds of stuff, all kind of holidays. That was just like, their house was like the it place to go to for the whole family.
Right.
And so now that they're gone, the house is gone, it's not there anymore. And so now it's kind of like, wow, a surreal feeling.
Yeah.
I remember when we had our first Christmas or Thanksgiving without being over there, it just didn't feel, it felt weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. And I was doing a study some time ago, and they talked about around the holidays can be the darkest time for some people, and I used to run into people, and they used to be like, man, they couldn't stand the holidays. They had this bad vibes. I'm like, man, this is Christmas. How could you not love Christmas and Thanksgiving and this and that? And I was like, I just don't. And so I began to kind of dig a little deeper and to find out that, they did lose a loved one, or they did didn't like the as they call it, the fakeness of it. When they say, all year they don't hear from family members up until that particular holiday, and then everybody's like, hey, how you doing? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And they didn't like that part about it. But when you really talk to them, it was, they did have a level of trauma or something that happens as far as a loved one, as far as something that bad even happens to them personally. It just brought a lot of depression, loneliness, and mental anguish. And so, like me even starting these different podcasts throughout the holidays, is that I want to try to put as much content as I could out there for people can look at it and be like, you know what, maybe something that Lakeisha said, maybe something that Kane Corden said, maybe that somebody else said, like, yeah, I can, one more day.
Yeah.
One more day.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you're going through those things, man, you just need one more day. Like, you can't even see the next week. You know what I'm saying? You can't even see. You just need one more day. Could you speak to that?
I'm sorry?
Could you speak to that? How would you, just making it through just that one more experience?
There's always someone who depends on you to make it.
Yeah.
They may not ever tell you that, but there's always someone watching.
Yeah.
There's always someone who is studying you, and they admire you from afar.
Man.
And they watch how you deal with things.
Yes.
And that's how they learn how to deal with things.
100%.
Whether it's children or it's that neighbor across the street, someone watching your show. You experienced it. You experienced it. I've experienced it. We've all been touched by cancer, this disease.
Yeah.
And people want to know, what is life like afterwards? How do I? Well, you get up, you praise God, and you put one foot in front of the other, and you keep it moving because you're not gone.
Yeah.
And someone needs you.
That's right.
And I actually have had to speak with someone about this. Look, some things that we go through is not even about us.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the example Jesus left, what he went through wasn't about him.
Mm-hmm.
It was for us.
Right.
So we're going to go through some tests and trials that have nothing to do with us for the sake of being able to help someone else.
Somebody else.
You have to go through something
Yeah.
in order to be equipped with the tools to
Yeah.
help someone else. You can't teach without a degree and experience.
Right.
That's the best teacher right there. No, that's true. I had someone reach out to me on my birthday from London actually, and he said, "Happy birthday, man!" And he's a Facebook friend, but he's a radio host guy over there, and he told me happy birthday. He said, "Man, I've been watching you." He said, "Keep shining the light." And
amazing.
and the time that he sent the message to me was like in the evening, but over there it was 1:00 in the morning. And so my wife and I listened to his message, and I was like, "Wow." You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know. He said, "Man," he told me I inspired him. I'm just like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. And what got me is my mother used to always tell me that, Chris, you never know. Somebody's always watching you.
Always.
You know what I'm saying? So be careful how you carry yourself, man, and be careful how you move around because somebody's always watching you. And oftentimes you either inspire people or you disgust them. No, but,
One or the other.
but you try to inspire them. And that's really what we're here for. You know, we live our lives really for each other. You know, and oftentimes we live our lives, thinking by ourselves. Like I tell my little sister, man, certain things she does, and I was like, man, people are watching you.
Yeah.
You know, that's very important. So, and how you handle stuff and how you carry on or whatnot. So I lost my mother to cancer, and that's really what helps me get through it is just trying to move. Like you talked about your grandmother going over to your grandma's house, man. It's like, wow, it's not the same.
Right.
My mother was that person, man, and it wasn't the same, and it's not the same. But we trying to make do, and everybody trying to pick up the pieces. But you already know that, you know what I'm saying. But I think what we do is really just lean on each other, and oftentimes is we lean off of each other. Like we, instead of coming together, we kind of separate a little bit, and I believe that some of that can change. You know, we can get that back. We just have to want to, you know, and so it's never going to be the same. But that next chapter of life, how did either one of you kind of carry on with that next chapter? We all had a lost loved one.
Man, I don't know. It's just like you said. You know, you wake up and you put one foot in front of the other, and you just keep moving.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not progressing, you're regressing.
Yes.
And you can get stuck in the weight of it all,
Yeah.
of life. You know, of depression, and you can just not move. You cannot go anywhere. You'll just regress back to whatever made you feel comfortable. You know, which is, things that you struggle with, like addictions or whatever, or you know, sometimes, like for me, sometimes I'll just sit there and binge watch stuff on TV to kind of get my mind off of whatever it is that's bothering me.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're in that dark place, it's always good to, this is like you know, you when you was talking about a friend had reached out and said, hey man, I'm watching you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm seeing what you're doing, and you inspired me.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like God always gives you that perfect time for somebody to reach out.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
that friend or that person that
Right when you hold on to that one string. You hold on to that one string, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's those moments that you can hold on to.
Yeah, man.
That helps you keep going. Yeah.
Absolutely. What I have been trying to do, we have a pretty big family. We've have 6 children between my husband and myself, and a host of grandchildren. I think we stopped to count about 14 plus a grand dog. But and our house was always that house where everybody would come and, you know, Grammy would cook and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. My grandmother actually, she only had one child, my mother, and there was only one one holiday dinner that I remember us having as a family. If anybody knows my mother, they understand when I say she was alive. So from that time on, my grandmother canceled it, literally canceled Christmas on that. But that was something that I desired.
Yeah.
I wanted a big family. I wanted to be the one to host those events. But I try my hardest to train my family to learn how to live when I'm gone, because that's a reality that they'll face in their adulthood, and 5 out of 6 are adults. And so learning how to adapt after someone's gone, they're only given to us shortly.
Yeah.
Their gift.
Yeah.
So treasure them while they're here,
Yeah.
and when they're gone, you take what you learn from them
Yeah.
to help somebody else.
Yeah.
You take all of the good out, and you and your wife start your own family traditions. And then you begin to invite the family over, and then you all start healing together. Or you take turns, or you make it into a potluck type of ordeal. And then you begin to open up and share the stories from Big Mama, if I may call her that.
Oh yeah, that's fine. You can call her that. We called her Mama.
Mama. I know it's always Big Mama, Big Mama, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that's important. You talked about not getting stuck in that spot. You also talked about putting one foot in front of the other and creating a new tradition.
Yeah.
You know, because when you don't, man, you will get stuck. And it's funny because, you know, you've always seen it a certain way, but it's not until you actually do something different that you'll see it. Then when you begin to say, you know what, this might work.
Yeah.
You know, I can say this ain't so bad, but you know, this is different. You know, and this is life as it is. This is the next chapter, and this is life as it is now. And you know, I was doing some conversations some time ago talking about how trauma, when certain things happen, trauma can, you know, it leaves like a stamp.
Yeah.
Like it stamps us at that spot. Like when something happened that traumatized you, you remember what happened. You know, a brother that was on the show some time ago, he said, man, I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, but I remember who whipped me when I was in 4th grade. And he named all 3 of the guys, man, these teachers, first and last names. I said, why was that? He said, man, because it left that imprint on me. And we're a basket of memories and moments, you know. And when we go past that, we create them. But I thank God that we do have memories and moments. But it's a good and bad thing, man, because you know you enjoy those moments, but then it's like, man, those moments when they get you, boy.
Exactly.
And it's great. It's funny you talking about memories because you sitting there. I was thinking about a memory of my uncle.
Yeah.
My uncle Durrell. He was the youngest of the children that my grandfather had.
Yeah.
But he was a singer. He was always in the choir and things like that. And he would get me and my cousins together, and we would do like a little small choir at grandma's house, and have us sing. You know, because so he found out they all found out that I sing, and so but he would always get us to sing the song called "Climbing Up the Mountain" and get us all together, soprano, alto, tenor.
Yeah, we know a little bit about that.
I said we had a singer and a rapper in here today.
And it was
Hot mic, no. We might have to go out with something.
Right.
This is for y'all through the holidays.
Yeah,
Merry
and
Christmas.
and he would get us together and have us sing you know, that song, or either we would sing stuff like sing the jingles on the of TV shows or anything like that. And my grandma got me into piano lessons. You know, had me taking piano lessons and got me into music and stuff. And so and that's where and man.
We need you at our church.
Well, wait a minute.
Hey,
I mean, I
said she
didn't.
got
I don't.
him into
Yeah,
that.
she got me into it. You know,
She introduced him.
yeah, she introduced me to it. Because I get, they saw, my love for music. Because that's what I do now. I'm doing now. I sing and everything. I'm singing all over Kansas City.
Nice.
Singing different bands, singing choirs. I sing with Isaac Cates and Ordained. I sing in bands called Accidental Moguls. I sing with Funk Syndicate, and all this comes from, my grandma and them just put me out there and put me in the church
Yeah.
and having me sing or play drums for the choir.
The exposure is something else.
Oh yeah,
Exposure.
yeah, and it just made me the person who I am today. So I remember those memories and I cherish those memories.
Yeah.
I sang at my uncle's funeral, which was like, I sang a Daryl Crowley song, When Sunday Comes.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize, but that was his favorite song. Somebody had told me.
Wow.
I was like, wow. But he loved Daryl Crowley.
It worked out.
It worked out, yeah.
So how was that, man? How was that singing for your uncle that passed, man?
It was an honor to do it.
Yeah.
Because I know that's what his life was about. He was always singing. He was
Yeah.
always in the choir. Always, because they went to is it okay? What's the name? I'm trying to think of the name. It's the Palestine Baptist Church. Yeah.
35th.
Yes. Yes.
Reverend Abel.
Yes. They were in the choir. Yeah. My grandma was in the
He's
choir.
the one
My
that gave me the whooping. When you said Palestine, no, he didn't just say Palestine.
yeah.
That was my traumatic moment.
Trauma.
That was my traumatic. That's funny because that's why I said Reverend Abel.
Right. Yeah.
God
yeah.
bless his soul, man.
Yeah.
Me and my partners ran across that church. We was running up down the elevators. He said, "Come into my office, young man." All three of us.
And we went to Vacation Bible School.
Oh my goodness!
About
I lived
years
on
ago.
33rd and Bells, not
Yeah.
around here. Man, he said, He wanted it first. I said, "Want what?" He said, "Watch this." This. Ooh. Give it to me first.
Oh man.
But
That's back in the
that
days
was
when
back-
it wasn't offensive.
man, when it wasn't offensive, you went and sat your butt down and didn't move.
Yeah.
But just man, turning that page, man, turning that chapter, turning that corner. We got to, and oftentimes it's almost like sometimes you can see certain people, and you can almost tell where they got stuck.
Yeah.
When you look at them, whether they're stuck in an offense, or whether they're stuck in, you got some of these older men that still dressed like they're, and they, these dudes are 70, 80 years old. They still got the hat to the side. What's up, Doc? What's up, Claire? Oh man, ain't nothing about you. What you?
Young blood.
What you say now? Hold on, Doc. Hold on, man. Let me get myself together. Like, bro, you can barely tie your shoes. Man, come on, get those strap-on shoes out of here, man. But they got stuck somewhere, man. Regardless of what it was, they got stuck somewhere, and they couldn't move past it. Whether it was the good old 60s and 70s, as they call it, whatever the case. But they got stuck there. And you can see that. But not only can you see that in their life as far as their outward appearance, but people mentally, man, they get stuck, and you can see that. And when you talk to certain people, it's like, yo, man, they struggling with something. Like they stuck somewhere, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speak to that, somebody.
You can sense that
You can sense
because
it.
there's a healing that needs to
Ain't nothing wrong with me. What's wrong with me? I just said hello.
That's an
What's
easy
wrong?
way to brush it under.
Yeah.
I know as a woman, I play many roles, and it's easy for me to just say, yeah, I'm all right. Because they don't feel that you would really understand the pain that they're going through or the turmoil that they're experiencing mentally because they perceive you to be something different.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so important for us to be able to open up and give our testimonies. And I am people don't really always believe this, but I am not really a public type of person. I'm really more of a shy person. And so being a part of this competition has been completely out of my comfort zone. And I only got into it because I was challenged to get out of that comfort zone.
Wow.
And so I stepped out in faith, and even after I did that, I still almost did not enter into it. When they told me that I had to go public with my profile and depend upon family, friends, and the world to vote for me, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. That's not me right there. But I'm a part of a workout group, and the community is so supportive. Amazing. And they was like, step out on faith, do something that you normally wouldn't do. So I said, okay, because that's exactly what this is. But one thing, and this is not really off topic, by stepping out on faith, going against what the world deems as beautiful, what the world deems as fit and fashionable, breaking barriers. Because I have children, I have grandchildren that don't look like the people that are on these magazines.
Right.
Yes.
But they're still beautiful.
That's right.
Come on,
And
man.
so our perception of beauty has been dictated to us, and we got to reclaim that. So I might not be for everybody, but for those who I am for, they can be encouraged by that.
Her tribe.
And they can know that they can also step out on faith. Now,
In confidence.
in confidence.
Full confidence.
Yeah. I'm going to step out in confidence just because I know whose side I'm on and who's on my side.
who got my back.
Not necessarily because I think that I got this in the bag.
Yeah.
But I do know that this competition is based upon votes. Whoever gets the most votes, advances to round 2, and this quarter ends Thursday. And so then if I'm a part of that, then I advance on. But I'm going to say this, because it's never been about vanity to me. My perception of me has always been poor, which is why it's important for me to build my confidence and my self-image in this in order to be able to preach and minister to people who lack it. I can't minister effectively if I don't feel that, because they'll understand and feel that themselves.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll definitely feel it if you live it. But if you don't live it, then they'll feel it too.
And my view on it is, whether in the end I possess the title for this, I won the day that I actually accepted the challenge and
Better
entered.
believe it.
Yeah.
You better believe
And
it.
God has been opening up unusual doors
Indeed.
through this whole thing, and I get to share other people's testimonies and my testimonies and loved ones.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the last one?
That's beautiful.
Okay.
Listen, you made me tear up. Man.
Oh, here you go.
But that is, man, because our definition of beauty has been pre-programmed to us. And it's funny because our beauty, our perception of beauty, and I had a sister that came on some time ago, and her what she talked about was positive affirmations. She says she doesn't leave the house without saying, I am beautiful, I am loved, I am special, I am unique, I am, you know what I'm saying? And, you hear the phrase, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, so I'm just going to be this all day, this is me. But she says she made a conscious effort when she woke up every morning is to look in the mirror and say, I am beautiful, I am woman, I am loved, I am this, And she said by the time that she got halfway through it, she was ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you can either wake up in a funky mood or you can get past that, man. And you can either walk in that all day long and step on people, and step all over people, or you can choose to take that and change that, man, and really bless somebody, because somebody is watching you. Yeah. And you never know, man. The day you choose to go out, and piss somebody off that day, the day you go to really offend somebody that day, that might have been the day where you really put a dent in them. Like that might have been a day where they was like really kind of looking for you, like, hey, good morning, where? You like, oh, wait a minute. And then now they go in. You know what I'm saying? Now you could have changed that whole, but they could never tell you that.
Domino effect.
Domino effect. Like I had a partner, man. He was telling me when his daughter graduated, you know, she didn't really, you know, acknowledge him, you know, during the graduation, and he was a little offended. He said, "But it's okay." I said, "No, it ain't okay, man." I said, "Were you offended?" He said, "Yeah, I'm offended, man." I said, "Didn't say that. Don't swallow that stuff in, man. Go out there and say, yeah, you know what? I was a little offended by that. Let's talk about that. You know, because if you don't tell her, one, she may never know. She might have wrote the speech without even thinking about. She automatically she knowing that daddy's there.
Yeah.
I ain't even really thinking about that because he's there.
Yeah.
Then tell her that, man. Don't just, you know, don't be easily offended to the point where you walk away. Now you're offended, and then you kind of feel a little bit distant, but let her know that.
Yeah.
That's relationship.
Yeah.
Communication.
Because she could have got up there and been nervous.
And been nervous.
Kind of like me.
Can't tell. No. Been nervous and stumbled through it. And that could have been, you know, whether you looked at her notes or not, she could have had your name all in there. But she got nervous and stumbled through it.
Yeah.
So talk to her. You know, and oftentimes is, you know, when we get offended, it's we kind of really don't know the whole story.
Exactly.
You know, we don't.
Yeah.
And until we know what we know, then that's that's what we know. Yeah.
If we wake up with a heart of gratitude, with what means that we have in the current world that we're in, then we'll learn how to adjust much better. You wake up on the wrong side of bed, what does that even mean if you wake up with a heart of gratitude? There's so much that we have to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Even if you're homeless and your side of the bed is a cardboard box, God kept you protected that night. Period. Whether you have little or you have much.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you got a point. One of the viewers is on the screen. Said, "This is good. Come on, sis. Amen." And, gratitude.
Amazing.
It's coming back. So that's coming from the vendors. Y'all keep posting your comments and questions up on the screen, and we will read them.
Man.
Talking about that, and we talking about, you know, the feelings and stuff, and how we how we start our day, and you talked about the young lady starting her day with positive affirmations, which is powerful to do because the subconscious mind is very powerful and can make you, and I mean, it's so much powerful that when you have anxiety, things like that, it can make your body feel like something's going on when there's nothing really
Flames
going
on
on.
fire.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, and it's something that I've dealt with for years.
Yeah.
And one thing my pastor, Stan Archie, always said that always stuck with me: feelings are real, but they're not authoritative.
Yeah.
And that has stuck with me, and I've always said that because you can change the way you feel. People will die on the hill on what they feel and think, okay, this is what it is. No, your feelings change.
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah.
And the way because how you feel about something right now is not how you gonna feel about it, you know, probably years on down the line.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Yeah. And we can't stake absolute certainty on what we feel.
Yeah.
You know, because our feelings are always, they swing every time.
Yeah.
And we can change. We can use those positive affirmations to change the way we think. Use God's word, especially, and keep and putting that into our minds.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what's going to help. My pastor, he used an example. You know, in order for the bad stuff to get out of our head, because there's so much negative stuff that comes into our minds and things these days.
Man.
He used this example where if you put some soap into a bottle or a glass,
Right.
and so now you're trying to get the soap out of the glass, right? So you're probably washing it out, and it seems like it's hard to get it out,
Right.
right? He said, but the best way to do that is to sit the glass underneath the water and allow the water to keep going. And then the soap all comes out. So if you pour enough of the good stuff in, the bad stuff will come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's facts, man.
Well, let me be transparent here.
Go ahead.
We talking about being open. What I deal with I wake up and it's not necessarily a feeling, it's a spirit. I might wake up and Satan is in my head. I'm going to share something with you, my
Yes, ma'am.
testimony.
Go ahead.
Come on.
Because somebody can relate to this.
Okay.
Yesterday, I had so much on my plate to do, but I had been working long hours last week, and I was exhausted. And I said, you know what? It is horrible for me to be sitting here. I have this going on. I have this going on. I hadn't yet heard from you yet. And Satan began to talk to me to tell me all of these negative things about myself. See, this is what happens to me. I don't know if y'all experienced it. Y'all might not experience this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, of
Where
course.
Satan will tell you that, I don't know why you in this. You ain't going to win. Ain't nobody voting for you.
Yeah.
Don't nobody even know you. Don't nobody like you. Your own family ain't rocking with you. And these are things that Satan will bombard me with.
Yeah.
But typically, I get fought when I'm right on the brink of a blessing. When I have that one person that calls and say, hey, listen, I just donated to this cause and you got X amount of votes. We need this. This is serious. Be encouraged. And this is family or friends that start reaching out. But if I sit there and allow Satan to talk to me and I begin to listen to him and I fall into that spirit of depression, then I'm going to be walking in that. And I would have walked in here and I wouldn't have been bubbly. I'd have been walking in here, you know. I was already terrified. And that's a spirit itself I try to pray off.
I bet Brother might put her back on the other side of the bed.
Look, I'm
She woke up
telling
on the
you.
wrong side of the bed. Go back to sleep, wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I told my husband, I said, you know, I'm going through a fight right now.
Yeah.
But see, I identify that. When you can identify that, then you can fight through it. When Satan's speaking to you, you need to speak the word of God. He was telling me all these things that I wasn't. I said, you know what, you a lie, and I'll put on this praise and worship music, and you will run up out of here. I will read the word of God, and you will flee up out of here. I don't need you in my head because I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Amen.
I'm not a size 10. I don't have a perfect symmetry of body. I don't have long flowing hair.
She's talking about me.
No.
She's talking about me. Oh, man, she threw some shade at me. Oh, man.
Hey, you ain't the only one, man.
Okay.
No, Sway.
I
No.
feel better now. I feel better now. I'm okay.
We don't look like what the world has told us.
man.
But see, this didn't just start with me. As a child, this is why this became something that was important to me. Because as a child growing up, I was chubby or fat or thick. And actually at that time, if I was that size, in this current day and age, it would have been considered thick and it would have been more acceptable. But at that time, it wasn't acceptable.
Or big bone.
And all, you know, big bones.
big
I ain't had no
bone.
big
Yeah.
bones.
Yeah.
Back then.
None of that. Well, all you got going for you is this. And
Wow.
and so I would grow up hearing this from at school and at home.
Wow.
And so that's the reason why I said that this was out of my comfort zone because I was never told that, hey, you can get off into that beauty pageant or whatever, whether you win or not. It's the fact that you was bold enough and encouraged enough and felt loved enough to feel like you qualified.
You're going to help somebody.
I have a daughter that entered into a beauty pageant and it wasn't that she fit the world standard. She was always beautiful to me. Baby, get off in there and you can win that thing. You win when you enter into it.
That's right.
I got your award. I got your accolades. She won Miss Congeniality, and that right there was very fitting for her because she
amazing.
is just that.
Facts.
Man, that's amazing. I love that. That's powerful.
Yeah.
I had a mentor tell me that success exists right outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, for sure.
And God has to make you uncomfortable sometimes to help you grow to where he needs you to be at.
You're looking at
And you
discomfort
and right
here.
now
Face
it's
of
not
discomfort.
and you know what? And it's like and the enemy always does that. You know, it's right on the
She
brink
walks out,
of
she goes, "Woo!"
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get in my car.
Right.
He holding it together.
Right. And then there's some because here I had the same thoughts as you had. He invited me on this podcast. I'm like, what do what you gonna have to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, who are you to be talking about something like that? You're not a professional. You're
Yeah,
not
man.
whatever this,
Yeah.
that, and the other.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's a reason why he called me.
100%.
Yeah, right.
Whatever
because-
reason he may have
Yeah,
had,
for sure.
and whatever maybe he may have had to call you, but
Yeah.
the problem is, hey,
Listen,
that's what it is.
I've been doing this for about 6 years now, man. And I'm going to be honest with you. Every time I do this, man, there's always in the back of my mind, man, what are you going to say? What are you got dudes sitting over here like, what
Yeah,
brother, what
yeah.
you going to do?
Right.
And they got, my man over here like, you can do it like, now I'm gonna lean on this side today, man. I can't do it. But I did, it was some months that I wasn't in the studio, and Mr. Walker can tell you, and I just, I wrestled with, and if I didn't have a guest or if I didn't have nothing to talk about, and if life was busy, I didn't do it. But God told me a couple of weeks ago, man, and he said, just jump back in. And the funny part, I was at church a couple of weeks ago, and I just heard clear as day, God just said, step on the gas. And I was like, step on the gas.
Yeah.
Because I had been reaching out to men, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, brother, let's talk. Everybody's not a therapist. Everybody's not a counselor. Everybody's not a PhD scholar, whatever. I got a homeboy right now that just got released from the penitentiary, been shot over 10 times, whatever the case, and he wanted to be on the show. And I'm like, come talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come
Exactly.
talk. Because somebody needs to hear what you got to say. You might say, bro, listen, man, I went through this. Don't do it. Well, how do you know? Let me tell you how I know. I got all this right here, all these. I got all this experience.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, and everybody might not, but everybody's somebody. Everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a journey. Everybody's got this thing to walk out, man. None of us are perfect. Nobody's got it all together. Everybody's coming together. I remember years ago, talked about our former pastor. They used to do a show called Wisdom Speaks, at 103. And, I remember I would go up in there and I'd be the dude tapping on the window, calling, this is Tammy. I said, all right, we got Tammy. But now I was on the other side of the glass saying,
Yeah.
now I'm
And now here you are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
Man, funny, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and but God is amazing like that, man. Because you just never know. But you got to be open.
Yeah.
You have to be open, man. And every opportunity ain't for everybody.
Right.
I mean, don't accept everything that come your way. Because some stuff, man, it'll put you in a trick bag. It really will, and it'll be hard to get out of. But just look at those opportunities. Pray about it.
Yeah.
Like, Lord, listen. I know what you got for me. I know you want me to be fab over 40. Lord Jesus. I know I'm fabulous, but Lord Jesus.
In-house.
In-house.
Right.
My husband and my kids love me.
Yeah.
But these people, people will bind you.
Oh, definitely.
If you read comments or certain comments, or if you don't get a heart emoji, if you don't get a thumbs up, if you don't get a like, if you don't get a love, if you don't get this, you be like, man, nobody cares about me. They could have saw it and be like, man, that was dope. Didn't press the button.
Yeah.
And then your mind, you're like, oh, keep looking down like,
Or they're in the closet.
or they're afraid.
There's a lot of people that will like you from afar, but don't want you to know.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by in the closet.
Yeah.
Well, for whatever that's for. They're not necessarily a hater, but they just don't want everybody to know that they rocking with you.
For sure.
Boy, that's something. That's something.
That's called real. And you can't take the compliments without the criticism.
Yeah.
So
Come on. Talk that talk.
That's like the wheat and the tare. Both of them together.
And you say you're doing a very good job, actually.
look, glory to God, I'm telling you.
And I'll tell
When
you-
God bring me to it, he'll lead me through it. My help is here, y'all.
right.
And the show's almost over.
Right.
My goodness.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is so true. Were you gonna say something, bro?
I was gonna say something towards what she was saying, and it left my mind as soon as that's all right. It'll probably come back up in a minute, but over 40.
Yeah. Just turn that chapter, man. Turn that page. Don't be afraid to turn it. You know, it's like when you're reading a book. You've already read one page. You know what that page. You know what the page prior to page, but you don't know when you flip. You know what it looks like. It might be saying due to where it's going. But you never really know until you flip the other page over. Man, it could be a whole nother chapter, you know, a whole new sequence of things, a whole new thing for you to do. Just turn the page. All you gotta do. Don't be afraid to. You know, I was afraid to do a lot of stuff, man. But you know, but I had to. I had to because I got little ones, man, and they watch me. And, you know, sometimes you foul up, you mess up, you be like, dang, man. You know, and even with my kids, a lot of times people say, man, you know, you apologize to apologize to your kids.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7 years old, daddy was wrong. Daddy shouldn't have said that. Daddy was wrong. You know, people say, oh, they're my kid. No, apologize. They're little people, man.
Look, some of them are big people. They grown. I be like, look, I'm sorry. I done messed up because I was a kid growing up with my first set.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, and I had a conversation with my son last week. I have 5 children, and my son's older. He's in his 20 years old, and he told me, he said, you know, Dad, it seemed like you got it all together. I said, really? I said, it don't feel like it at all. He's like, but yeah, he's like, I'm watching you. He's like, because it's like how you handle yourself and how you handle certain situations. I'm like, wow. You know, and, you know, it's amazing. I'm looking at my father. My father's still alive, and I watch him. You know, you'll never, it's like, you'll never be too old to learn to learn anything from your parents. I mean, and I'm still learning from my father. You know, watching him, and it's amazing to hear my son say that about me. It was, you know, so yeah, it got me.
Yeah, that's
right.
Thank you.
Yeah, my chest was out a little bit.
Yeah, if he maintained that through teenage years.
He's 20 though, right?
Yeah, he's 20.
Yeah,
20 years old. Yeah.
Your son probably be like, Dad, listen, if I went through this at 20, man, Dad, you did good. Man, I'm 20 years old, man, and my head be
man.
bang. But it is important to tell. It is important to tell someone good job.
Yeah.
Give them their flowers while they're alive.
Give them their flowers.
Yes.
So I did that to Mr. Baez.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I did that.
That
to
was
him.
awesome.
Yeah, and I think I've told him that before, but I want to say publicly, man, I give you your flowers because, you know, when I went through some things, I went through a divorce and just a real tough time, and you know, he didn't have to reach out, you know, or accept the invitation like he did for the time limit that he did, and to right now, you know, I thank God for that, man, because you know when you in those moments. Sometimes you land on your back, you're looking for somebody to reach out to. You're like, Lord, man, I feel like I'm falling. I'm just grabbing for something. And then next thing you know, you kind of get somebody, hey, man, pick you up, Doc.
Oh, man, you know what? And when I heard that, because I was listening to today when you talk about when you falling, and it put me a quote of what Les Brown said. It's like, when you fall, try to fall on your back, because if you look up, you can get up.
You can get up. Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Sight is everything.
Yeah.
Sight is everything, man. We walk by faith and not by sight, but you still gotta see something, though, man. Like, you know, in environments, I grew up in the inner city, man, and you know, all we saw was, you know, those 4 corners. That was it. You know, that was our. You know, I got sick one time, and the doctor was like, "Have y'all ever been to Mexico?" Because I had appendicitis. Well, y'all ever been to Mexico to drink the water? My mom was like, man, I can't even get out of Kansas City. What you mean? Make it to Mexico? I can't even get out of Kansas City. What are you talking about? And, you know, so that's what it was, though. But, yes, it is definitely important, man, and to do that and to show that we love each other, especially during these times. You know, so if somebody out there that don't feel like you love, man, you know, reach out to somebody, reach out to some help. You know, hopefully you got something from this conversation, because that's really what our goal is, to just put the conversations together that y'all can kind of resonate with. You know,
real people going through real things.
Real
Yeah.
things. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, life is real, man, and we can get through it with each other. A lot of times, you know, we isolate. COVID even taught us that, man. You know, I was looking through some of the older stuff from COVID and stuff, and you see, people walking up and, like a grandma would hold the glass and a little baby be holding glass and they can't touch each other, but they're both touching each other through the glass, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And, people are in COVID and they're isolating these things and everybody's isolated, man. And psychologically that messes people up.
Oh yeah.
I got a show that I'm trying to put together as far as clinical. How does the chemistry in your mind, how does that work when it locks certain things? What kind of endorphins or whatever the case, from a psychological point, how does that really begin to change our moods? So that's big. So real quick, for people that want to vote, how do they vote? How do they get connected? What do they need to do for this Fab over 40?
Oh, well, you would go, when I first set it up, I was indecisive, and when I finally made the decision, I went back and I reset everything up. So there's 2 profiles for me, but it's votefab40.com/2022/Lakeisha, and then there's a hyphen Holloway -2. I had to write it out here so I can read it.
That's all right.
But that's what you would go to. You vote fab40.com, and you will find my profile. And it's Lakeisha Holloway with the 2 on the end.
Yeah.
And so every 24 hours you get a vote, a free vote. You also can donate funds. And right now they have a special going where any dollar amount that you donate is doubled. So I get double the amount of votes.
Yeah.
The good thing about that is, regardless of the outcome of it, the funds are tax deductible, and they're going to support the National Breast Cancer Foundation, who is helping with early detection of cancer, support, education, all these things that are needed for people who are experiencing this, going through it, exposed to it in any kind of way.
816-358-94.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Yeah. And the call, right?
But yes, the first round ends Thursday, so it won't let you vote for a full 24 hours from the first time that you vote.
Yeah.
And if I am designated to pass the first round Thursday, then I advance to the next round. So there's levels to this thing.
So I'm on here now. So it says Hope Vote or the free daily vote. Which one do I do? How do I
Hope
do that?
Vote is if you're going to pay.
Okay. And the free daily vote is
And the
this one?
free daily vote is the
Okay.
one that you get. And that's the one with the 2 on the end, right?
Yes, it is. That just had your picture up there and everything.
There's 2 with my picture.
Oh, is it?
Because I did one,
Okay.
and it was messed up. 'Cause I was supposed to get out of it.
Okay.
But it'll have my name and then -2.
Okay. Right there. I guess I gotta go to the other
Let me
one.
see really quick here. And thank you in advance. Oh, let me see. I'm currently second, so that is me.
All right.
I'm holding second, y'all.
Yeah.
Look, I'm telling you, whenever I get fault, then my husband or I got a cousin or my daughters, they'll send me a message. You in second place. And last week I had got bumped up to first. Someone had donated and I was bumped up to first. And they was just blowing me up. You in first. And I'm like, all right, well, praise God. It fluctuates. We'll see.
All right.
Yeah, it's some stressful
My
stuff.
emotions smoky.
I was ready to get up out of it, but then they start getting hype, and I said, you know what? This is something that they're believing in and walking with me in. So
Yeah, and they know your character. This is something that's out of your comfort zone. This is something that's not you, and that's really inspiring for them because they're like, listen, I know if mama can do it, or big sister or cousin can do it,
yeah,
I can do this.
that's right.
I can do this.
Because being over 40 is fabulous, and
It
I'm
is.
trying to, we go through different things hormonally.
For sure.
And with weight fluctuations and things that we can't eat and all these different changes that women go through, but
me too.
we're just learning to embrace that.
For sure.
And I have some awesome women that are 50 and over, and so I'm trying to get myself together so when I get to Fab over 50, I'm just that.
Yeah.
All right.
But not in a vain way, and I make my boast in the Lord.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. And
Yeah.
it is, man. It's listen, you gotta love the skin you're in.
That's right.
If you ain't your biggest cheerleader for yourself, man, then come on.
Oh man, come on.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Mhm.
So yeah. Well, any closing remarks? I'll start off with you there. Any
well,
closing remarks? Any a word of encouragement or any or precious Lord, take
Yeah.
my hand, lead me on. Listen, don't let me sing, but
Right.
I would break the microphone. Bro.
I don't know. I guess what's coming up in my mind is success leaves clues.
Yes.
You know, study the people who are successful in what they're doing. You know, and try to emulate what they're doing.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to people who have come out of depression or come out of whatever things that they're dealing with.
Bad situation.
That's what's bad situations.
Yeah.
Trauma.
Trauma.
You know, seek out those people, because a lot of times we'll go to somebody. I always think if you want to learn how to play chess, learn how to play somebody who's better than you. You know,
Right.
yeah, that's how you
Don't
learn.
be intimidated to be around people who are doing better than
Exactly.
you. You gravitate to them if that's what you desire to become.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's how you learn.
Yeah. Birds of a feather flock together. And if you
Who you
in the-
flocking
in the-
with?
Yeah.
My husband. Shout out to my husband, Pastor Lee Holloway. Do that out there. He preached that message.
Yeah, yeah, it is, man. You know, you are a product of the people that you're around. They say, what they say, if you hang around 4 broke people, you'll be the 5th broke.
That's right. And if you,
You know
do-
what I'm saying?
yeah, that's right. And if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to go get in a new room.
Better get you in the room, man. Yeah, people. People have to elevate you, man. You have to move forward. You gotta lift yourself up, man. And when you get people that are around you that encourage you and truly love you for you, and man, that's your tribe.
It's refreshing.
Love it, embrace it. Give us some parting words.
Yes,
Ms.
man.
Holloway.
We all have been hit with this cancer in so many ways, and I decided to take this thing and highlight stories about my family first, and then if God allows me to advance to round 2, I'll solicit the testimonies of others, like people even such as yourself, if you allow me to share that story. Because we
Sure.
keep it out there, then women are more comfortable going to get their mammograms because they know other people who have went through it, so they're not alone.
Yes.
Men are more comfortable going to have their prostate
Yes,
checked,
ma'am.
and they understand that other men have went through this, and early detection is key.
Yeah.
And if you're ashamed to go to the doctor and you don't want him handling you, well, then how can you find out what's going on in your body?
That's right.
So that's what we want to do during this Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah.
Men have breasts too,
Yeah.
so men
Yeah,
can
yeah.
also have breast cancer.
That's right.
You just really want to focus on having annual exams, period. Especially people of color.
Yeah.
Stay on top of that. Usually we don't have the insurance or the resources to have those exams.
Yeah.
As soon as you acquire it, go do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Find out places that offer exams for free.
Yeah.
Look into the resources because they are available, because something small can turn into something great if you don't catch it in
Don't
time.
catch it, Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've said this before. Oftentimes, it's like if you're looking for a good therapist, it's well, your husband said this is serious. It is serious. That's your husband just said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, oftentimes is when you're looking for some help, you need help. You're trying to find a therapist that works for you.
Yeah.
And, you know, every therapist is not a good fit for you. So when you're looking for a doctor, find a good doctor that's there for you.
Yeah.
You know, oftentimes we go to doctors, come in and just come on and, all right, man, there you go.
Yeah,
15 minutes
yeah,
later,
you're
you're
right.
out of there. You be like, dang, man, I didn't even
Yeah.
get a chance to tell you
Right.
how I feel. Like, yo,
Right.
I gotta take this medicine. No,
Yeah.
listen, please.
Yes.
I'm paying for this. You know, but find somebody that fits for you. Talked about your tribe. Talks about going through. Talked about everything, man. So find something that's a good fit for you, man, and let's heal ourselves, man. Heal each other.
Yes. Yes,
So listen here. It's that's been my time for this week. God
right.
bless you all, man. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you
so
for
much.
having me.
Thank you so much,
Thank
brother.
you. Thank you for having
This has been another episode of Street Therapy, Kansas City.
Street therapy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Y'all take care of yourself, man,
All right.
and each
You
other,
too.
man. God bless y'all.
You
Peace.
too.